people out there. As you can see from the title, I'm solely focusing on those women who are currently stuck in a home with their abuser. Some ways that you could keep yourself safe. Try to keep yourself safe. The ultimate way to know that you are going to be safe is to remove yourself from that situation, but you have to be very strategic about leaving or creating, you know what I'm saying, like the atmosphere to leave. Because if you are in the house with someone 24 hours a day, both of you guys are unemployed, tensions run high, you know what I'm saying, um from previous experiences with this person, you ran into, you know what I'm saying, getting your ass whooped, him verbally abusing you, you know what I'm saying, trying to put limitations on you, you know what I'm saying, but you may have had, you know what I'm saying, an opportunity to kind of like go out and work, do stuff outside of the house. I don't know what ties you to this person, to this man, or whatever the case may be, as far as the choices that you're making to stay. But what I'm saying to you, if you are currently in that kind of situation, you know what I'm saying, and you want to remain safe, right? The only way to certainly know that you're going to be safe is to remove yourself from the situation and strategically do it in a way in which you don't put yourself at more risk of dying. You know what I'm saying? Because let's face it, like, women who leave a DV situation are at a higher risk, you know what I'm saying, like, of violence being perpetrated on you. So I'm not saying that to scare you. When you look at statistics, that's what you see. You feel what I'm saying? And I just want to have straight talk. I'm not going to even do this over. I know I kind of like fumble over my words, but I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm keeping it 100% with you guys, or whatever have you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this person. I'm going to give you some ways that you can kind of like remain safe. But let me put this out there, right? So there is an hotline. See, this, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to put this shit on YouTube or whatever the case may be. It's going to be on YouTube, so this is going to be worldwide. You know what I'm saying? It could be people from the United States, people from different countries. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to give like a national hotline number, right? As you can see this number that I'm putting right here. I put the website up. This is the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and the number is 1-800-799-7233. They have more than 200 languages, and the call is free and confidential. If you are able to sneak away somehow to make a call or whatever have you, and you need like some type of support, you need to know the organizations and stuff like that within your country, within your state, wherever you are in the world. You could kind of like use that as a tool, you know what I'm saying? But let me get into like ways that, you kind of like, you stuck in a house with this dude or whatever, and he on edge. He probably ain't got a job, unemployed, or maybe he is employed, whatever your circumstances is. Because even though we all cannot, like, I'm a survivor of domestic violence, you know what I'm saying, but everybody's situation is uniquely different. You feel what I'm saying? So depending on, okay, you have this man, you've been in a relationship with him, whether you've been in a relationship with him for months, years, days, however long, this person. So the first thing you want to do, like, you in a house with this dude or whatever, to kind of like keep yourself safe. Let's say, for instance, you don't want to leave. You don't want to, like, you know what I'm saying, you making the choice to stay, because at the end of the day, you are an adult. I put these resources out there for you. You know what I'm saying? And I could talk about all these safety plannings, but at the end of the day, it's a choice. Okay? whether this guy has psychologically, you know what I'm saying, like embedded some things in your mind, and you may feel like you tied to him for religious beliefs or whatever the damn case may be. Maybe it's children, maybe it's financial, maybe you scared to, like, you know what I'm saying, go into a shelter. You know, I know a lot of people, they don't want to go into the shelter because of the coronavirus and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be, whatever fears that are holding you there. Because remember, the coronavirus, we only been dealing with this shit for like a few months. You know what I'm saying? But before then, it was something that was holding you there. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason. Maybe he's isolated you, because that's what abusers do. They like to isolate, you know what I'm saying? They like to isolate their partners. But I'm gonna say, like, if you don't want to go into a shelter, or you don't want to leave or whatever like this, you have to be on you have to be aware of your abuser's triggers. You just need to know. You have to be aware of what's going on. You have to be aware of the red flags. It's a pattern to this shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't mean to curse. I know some people, you know what I'm saying, once you say a curse, they eliminate the message. Just kind of like focus on the message or whatever have you. But you got to think of, okay, the patterns in the past, like what led up to these arguments, what led up to this person physically putting their hands on you, like what triggers, you know what I'm saying? Like, some men, you know, some abusers, they trigger is, oh, okay, oh, why did you leave the dishes in the sink, or why did you do this, you know what I'm saying? Or he start pacing back and forth, or smoking cigarettes, or maybe drinking too much, or whatever the case may be. Like, you have to be aware of certain things, like, okay, well, he is pacing back and forth, and he's upset about whatever. Last time he was like this, you know, he hit me or struck me or like something like that. You got to remove yourself from the situation. Like, I understand, like, people have different households. Some people live in big households, meaning like they live in a big ass house, 4 bedrooms, you know what I'm saying, a basement, all that stuff, and it's like minimum people in the house. So you got all these spaces. So maybe perhaps going into a different room or something like that to diffuse the situation. But if you in a studio apartment and it's like 5 of y'all in there, or 3 of y'all in there, or if it's just you and the dude, you know what I'm saying, y'all in the studio apartment, it's like, where else can you fucking go? Go to the bathroom or some shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you want to fucking avoid some type of escalation. If there is a minor argument, you don't want to be in the kitchen where there's sharp objects, anywhere where there's weapons or something like that. So you want to kind of like, you know what I'm saying, look out for the expressions, look out for the body language, and try to avoid it from escalating. You know what I'm saying? You know how somebody say some dumb shit to you and you just gotta respond like, you know what I'm saying? I'm all for people speaking their mind and being an individual and stuff like that. But if you in a relationship where this person is abusive to you, and it's a DV type situation, you do not want to go head to head with somebody who could potentially kill your ass. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you gotta look at shit like that on some dead serious shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people like, oh, well, I have to have the last word, or I have to say this. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are in the relationship for whatever reason. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, um this person is providing a house for you, and you feel like, oh, okay, well, you know, I feel better safe here than to go into the shelter or whatever like that, or to go live with a family relative. You know what I'm saying? I work with, you know, so many women who been on their own since they was about 14, 15. So all they know how to do is go out there and, you know what I'm saying, try to find a way for themselves or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, you stuck in the house with this dude. You know what I'm saying? You're already walking on eggshells and shit like that. You want to avoid arguments. You want to avoid things that could potentially turn um, deadly. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you want to do that. You want to make sure you avoid that. So just avoid like the escalations and stuff like that. Now, like I was saying, like everyone's situation is different. Like during this time, like, all right, we are in shelter in place, but everyone, you could still go outside. You still got to go get food. You know what I'm saying? You still got to go check the mailbox. You still got to take the garbage out. You know what I'm saying? If you are an essential worker, you still got to go to work, because let's face it, your abuser might still be going to work, or maybe you might still be going to work, or maybe your situation is y'all both are unemployed. But if you're planning, if you saying like, I can't deal with this no more, you know what I'm saying, maybe it's something where it's something that's, maybe you can't avoid this shit from happening, maybe you can't avoid him from physically hitting you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you haven't maybe you don't know his triggers, because this motherfucker just be popping off all the time. You know what I'm saying? He be on 10 all the time, or on 1,000 all the time. Like, this shit is unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could give you like some tools to try to be safe, but you know what I'm saying, this shit don't guarantee, you know what I'm saying, like nothing deadly could happen. Because a lot of, especially being in the situation. Like, I could take my mind right back to being in that moment and kind of like thinking about the mindset I had, or, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, okay, well, he did this because, I didn't fix the bed right, or, he was on the phone talking to some girl and I interjected, or I got jealous, or whatever the fuck, whatever the shit is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you want to kind of like blame yourself for this grown ass person putting their hands on you. Like, you can't blame yourself for somebody else's action. What you can do is think about your actions, your reaction to your actions. Because at the end of the day, regardless of whatever belief systems or whatever you think, you know what I'm saying, no other person should physically like assault you or put hands on you. That's not love. And I'm gonna say that shit again. Like, that's definitely not love. You know what I'm saying? When you think of domestic violence, you think of like the control and power. That's all it is. It's just control and power. You have one person who exercising the power, you know what I'm saying, and they want to control you. That's it. And you got to look at it you got to look at it like that. Like, you do deserve to live a different life. You do deserve to be happy. You do deserve to be able to speak up for yourself without feeling like you're going to get your ass whooped, or someone's going to try to put you down. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not only talking about, just physical abuse, but there's physical abuse, and there's also emotional abuse, there's also financial abuse, there's also sexual abuse. There's so many things. You understand what I'm saying? But you have to get to a place where you have to keep it a buck. That's what we say in New York City. You know what I'm saying? In the hood, we say a buck. And when I say a buck, I mean you gotta be really honest with yourself. Really, really, really honest with yourself. Like, yo, if he's beating you every day, putting you down, withholding money from you, not allowing you to eat, or whatever the case may be, then you have to reevaluate this shit for a minute. You know what I'm saying? You got to think of a plan to get the fuck out of that situation, because it's only going to fucking get worse. You know what I'm saying? You still have the option to call emergency services. You want to do it discreetly. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be like, oh, I'm calling the police, and you doing that shit right in front of his face. Then, like, nah, like, get away and do it in a way in which you are safe. But getting back to this, like, if you can't control none of those things, then have an excuse to leave. If every day at 4 o'clock you go check them out, or 3 o'clock you go check them out, or every day at this time you take out the garbage, or you, if you have pets and you have a dog and you take the dog for a walk, then during that time you could, one day you make that choice and you leave. Like, you could utilize this number right here, 1-800-799-7233, and then also, like, you could kind of like um call that number, see what organizations, and then you could also call the police. Like, let's say you leave the house and you take the dog for a walk or whatever, but you go all the way across town or go to a precinct or whatever, and they could like help you with whatever you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, like, you trying to do. Like, you can't be scared, yo. You can't be scared to make that step. And like, yo, I understand, like, it's a fucked up ass time, you feel what I'm saying, like, it's a bad time, and we got this coronavirus and different things going on outside and stuff like that, but yo, you're gonna be fine. Like, there's still organizations out there that's willing to help you be safe, and there's like shelters out there too that's willing to help you get safe. You know what I'm saying? Get you some bleach. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, let's say if you do call this hotline, right? Let's say, let me give like an example. Let's say if you decide that you want to leave, right? And you like, okay, well, my abuser is an essential worker and his schedule is from, let's throw that out there, 10 o'clock in the morning to 6 p.m. at night. And like clockwork, every night he comes home at 7:30. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already know his schedule. And that's when you could sit down and be like, all right, tomorrow's the day that I'm going to leave. Like, soon as he leaves, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could, like, let's say today is a day that you decide that you want to leave, but you want to wait until like tomorrow to actually leave. Then today, when he's at work, you want to call these numbers, you know what I'm saying, and see what they could set up for you. See what organizations is in your city or in your country that's willing to help you, or maybe reach out to that relative who, you know what I'm saying, has space and who's willing to take you in. You know what I'm saying? So you want to think about that, like your family members who don't know your abuser, or your abuser don't know where they live at. Because the key thing is, you don't want to go to your mom. Well, I don't want to say your mother house. Well, if your abuser know your mother, your mother, your father, your sister, like, you know what I'm saying, like the people that be at the cookouts and shit, like at the family gatherings and stuff like that. If he know those people, like to the point, like, yo, to the point like he know where they at and stuff like that, then you don't want to go to those places, because that's where the first place he's going to go. He's going to be like, yo, you feel what I'm saying? Like, he going to end up there. So you want to definitely, you know what I'm saying, reach out to family, friends. And even if you go to work, like let's say you work too, you are an essential worker too. You know what I'm saying? This ain't only just for, because like I said, everyone's situation is different. So if you are working, you going to work or whatever have you, and you got co-workers or people out there that you could speak to and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You could speak to your co-workers. Well, I wouldn't say speak to your co-workers, but I'm saying like you have to find somebody that you could trust. You know what I'm saying? And if you go to work, you know what I'm saying, you go to work or whatever have you, and you got a co-worker who there that you work with, and you tell them this, they probably could help you, you know what I'm saying? Or you tell your boss, like, look, I'm whatever, being abused at home, and this is going on, and I don't feel safe. They could probably help you as well. You know what I'm saying? But getting back to the example that, I was trying to make, like if he goes to work and today you like, oh, you could call these numbers and find out what places out there that's willing to help you. And then they could set up something like that, and then the next day, even the same day, because you could call them and be like, oh, well, I just want to leave tomorrow, and they'd be like, oh, well, we found this organization and they're willing to come pick you up. Because remember, like if you don't have money or something like that, they do have like car service and different, um different like cab services and um whatever they have in place, because they do have in place where they do provide car service to help you to be safe. You know what I'm saying? So you have to like plan. And then like let's say if you're doing like research on the computer, you want to definitely delete that history, anything pertaining to you leaving. So you got to keep that in mind too. You got to keep it very secretive. Like, all right, you want to leave, okay, you want to take all the essential things that you're going to need. Like you do need like your social security card, your identification, your birth certificate, like important documents. You want to like keep that like in an envelope. You know what I'm saying? Have a little to go bag. Like keep that shit somewhere like in a closet that dude don't never look at. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like sometimes dudes, they don't even pay attention to the shit that's going on in the house. But then you have OCD type of motherfuckers who like to go through everything and know where everything is and be like, oh, well, why is this here? Or you know what I'm saying? You want to be strategic. You know what I'm saying? But if he's like a dirty ass motherfucker and the house is all a disarray, you know what I'm saying? Because we going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff. Everybody have different households. Some of them shits is clean and some of them stuff is dirty. It is what it is. It is, and some people is messy, some people are hoarders, whatever. But you want to like, have like a bag, that a to go bag, where when you ready to go, that shit is right there with your essential things that you need. Like, yeah, you need like, probably a couple of outfits, but you ain't trying to take all your fucking clothes. You don't want to make it so obvious. Don't want to make it that obvious, but you definitely want to you want to put something in place. You definitely do, especially if you can't take it no more. Like, and it's not even a fact of not being able to take it no more. It's a fact about putting yourself first and your needs first. You know what I'm saying? And what's important. And the fact of the matter is, I'm saying it from a standpoint of, you being an individual, you know what I'm saying, and you being abused. But what happens when you have when you have children? You have children in this household and it's abusive. You as the parent, you still have to be able to make choices to not only protect yourself but to protect your children, right? So it's like you want to put yourself in a place where you want to, try to, be alert of your partner's whatever triggers. Then you want to like kind of like always de-escalate the situation so that it won't become bigger. You know what I'm saying? You want to do these things, especially when you have children and you're not deciding to leave, which I say you should leave. You know what I'm saying? But then if you have kids, you want to definitely safety plan with your children. You know what I'm saying? Oh, of course, away from him. You know what I'm saying? Come up with little words that will let them know, like, okay, they could call the police, like um if it becomes a situation where you can't protect yourself or protect them. You know what I'm saying? Because what children tend to do is they try to protect the parent who is vulnerable, who's the victim, and then what happens in a moment, the child could get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you want to make sure that you making choices that, you know what I'm saying, you want to protect your children. Definitely, you definitely want to protect your children. And if you do have children in the household and it is a very abusive relationship, then you want to leave. You know what I'm saying? You want it. That's the best way to do is leave, right? But if you're not choosing to leave, what do you want to do to protect yourself and your kids? Okay, right? If you have kids, and there's a time when, okay, every day at 4 o'clock, y'all go take out the garbage together, or y'all go take the dog for a walk. When you outside, you could speak to your children about like, oh, okay, well, um, if you hear if you hear daddy screaming at me, or if you hear him yelling at me, or if you hear any banging, I want you to grab the phone and call 911 in the bathroom or in a closet somewhere where he doesn't see. You know what I'm saying? Or you want to tell them to run out of the house and go to like the neighbor's house, depending on, you know what I'm saying, like where, whether you live in a house or apartment building. You know what I'm saying? This could even be for people who have land. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's situation is different. Because what happens is, if you know what I'm saying, you live in a house and you live on a farm, and it's nothing but land, nothing but farm and acres of land, and your neighbor's like 20 miles, you know what I'm saying, away. What can you do then? You feel what I'm saying? You in a small town, everyone knows each other and shit like that. You want to like have your kids like, call authorities, or possibly call, you know what I'm saying, someone who could come help. You know what I'm saying? Definitely wanna do that. But you have kids, you have to make sure yourself and your children are safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are places out there, like I said, you could call this. It's confidential. You know what I'm saying? Um, I know it's kind of like discouraging to say, oh, well, I don't want to go into a shelter. You don't really have to, but you could probably find a friend or a relative or somebody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like, I understand it's shelter in place, so it's a different time. This is the stuff that I would say. Well, I'm still saying it now, but I'm thinking of the time in which we in, like coronavirus, and they saying, oh, well, stay home, but you still could call 911. You still could leave if your life is in danger. If your life is in danger, your children's life is in danger, you gotta bounce. Point blank, period. The dude is not going to change. He's not going to change. That man, you know what I'm saying? That person, that individual is not going to change. He is who he is. And I'm going to keep saying that. He is who he is. He's not going to change. He's not going to change for you. Let him be the change for whoever else. Okay? You gotta do what you gotta do for yourself. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put as much resources as I possibly can in the description box to kind of like, fit you guys, because I know people are listening to this who lives in different places out the world. But like I said, this is a national one right here. You know what I'm saying? But if I couldn't really go down each state and each country and provide all those resources, I would, because nothing's really impossible. But I just want you guys to really take this shit serious. You know what I'm saying? There's so many women who've died, who's been a victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, who really can't even make the choice that you are capable of making at this time. Like, you can make that choice. Like, okay, yeah, you've been with this dude since high school. You know what I'm saying? He your high school sweetheart, or maybe you met him and he got his shit together. He got a house, he got money, he got a car, whatever like that. Or, you know what I'm saying, you met this dude, or, you know what I'm saying, he went to the army and dude came back all fucked up, and whatever fucking sad story. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to have ties to a motherfucker. Like you don't have to have ties with this person forever. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, you got the power to choose. You got the power to change your life. You know what I'm saying? You got the power to change it. You know what I'm saying? You definitely want to be smart. You know what I'm saying about it. Cause like I was saying, like you don't wanna like argue. You know what I'm saying? You wanna fucking like try to avoid those things, especially when you have kids in that house and you choosing not to leave. Like, yo, you gotta you could at some point you gotta be like, yo, I deserve better. You know what I'm saying? Like you at some point. And then it's like I understand there's some women out there that just go leave one abusive relationship, go to the next, go to the next, go to the next. I've dealt with one woman who's been in 3 domestic violence relationships, 3 pattern. Like I always say domestic violence relationship, but it's really like, being in a relationship with an abusive partner. But I got my lingo or whatever. But I would definitely like say like, yo, like take time, like, yo, reflect, like when you leave, like you definitely want to get therapy. You want to, you know what I'm saying, utilize the support that these organizations can help you with. You know what I'm saying? And really, 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 you know what I'm saying, like deal with the emotional aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so easy kind of like, you know what I'm saying, go back and think the motherfucker gonna change. He ain't gonna change. He not gonna change. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I know they got batterers. Um, I think batterers accountability or something where, they take like a therapy course or I don't know what it is they do. Right now I can't think of it. It really doesn't fucking matter, to be fucking honest with you. And yes, I'm cussing. I hope you can get over it and don't be offended and just really think about the message. And in fact, I mean, the message that I'm putting away or whatever that I'm doing. But yeah, so you know, and look at this right here. So I'm gonna highlight all this. They got all this shit right here. Like they got stuff for the TTY or you know, but I'm gonna put that all in like the description box. And yeah, another thing, right? See, I was saying something about pets too. Like, look, they got shit like looking for a safe haven for you and your pet. Like, yo, you could keep your pet safe too. You know what I'm saying? Help for family and for family and friends. Are you concerned that a friend, family? This is for like people who like are like noticing shit. You know what I'm saying? Although like you may feel like, oh yeah, I'm keeping this shit secretive. I'm being on the low and shit, but your neighbors hear everything. You know what I'm saying? Like your body language, like people could see that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't gotta walk around being you don't gotta be no fucking victim. Like you could thrive. You could be a survivor. Like you could really get your shit, you know what I'm saying, together and work with people who's going to help you get to a level in which you know that you deserve better and you keep yourself fucking safe. Like yo, religion, being in a relationship for religion reasons, that ain't no fucking reason to be in a relationship. If he gonna beat you, you know what I'm saying? Like come on now. Oh yeah, I got married to this man, so I'm with him for life. Oh nah, fuck that. Who cares? Like you know what I'm saying? Like okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm not even because this would be some whole other shit. Like this would be a whole nother conversation. I'll bring religion all in and stuff, but I'm just saying that ain't a reason to get your ass whooped. Oh, yeah, I've been married to him for 20-something years. Okay, 20-something years? No, we know. The next year, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be, you know, doing something that you love doing, that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Spending time with people who really care about you, who really love you, who want to see you doing better. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you really want to provide a healthy, home for you and your children. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is still good despite all this fucking coronavirus, or whatever. Like, we don't have no control over that. Throw your mask on. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Wash your hands. Take your vitamins. But being in a domestic violence, being in an abusive relationship, you want to definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to leave that. Be safe. But, I think I pretty much covered what I wanted to basically come up here. I said, yo, I'm gonna make this like 10 minutes, but I think this has been going on for like 30 minutes. I don't know. But the overall point is to try to help you be safe, being stuck in a house with an abusive spouse, aka a crazy MF, psychopath, whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and when you no longer can, when you make that choice and you say, I'm going to bounce, safety plan, be, be, damn, the word, I was going to say secrete. It ain't secrete. Oh my God, I just got a brain fart. Like, what the hell? You want to be discreet. That's the word, discreet. I'm a hot mess. I am. I'm a hot mess, really. But you want to be discreet, but I'm doing this video because I genuinely want every woman, you know what I'm saying, to be safe and to live the life that they can live you can live a powerful life. You know what I'm saying? You can live a powerful life. You can have some healthy, amazing relationships. You could be free to do say what you want to say. You know, you don't have to walk on eggshells in your house. Your house is supposed to be a safe haven. You know what I'm saying? For you and children, for the for women, for children. You know what I'm saying? Your house should be safe. It should be a safe house. Like, it should be nothing but laughter. Happy moments. Life ain't all about pain and misery and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's other things. But I hope you found some useful information in this video. Um, you know, and there's other things that I do have too. I have other videos. I have videos on what's it like to be in a domestic violence shelter. I know that when I made that video, the world wasn't so different, but you could still utilize that because the domestic violence shelters are still going on. That shit ain't stopped. You know what I'm saying? They still have that. Maybe they make safety precautions so that it's not as many people in it during the intake process. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there are resources out there for you. So you could kind of like listen to that video about my experience, and you know, um, you can watch that, and then I have some other stuff because I'm not only I don't only work with domestic violence victims, but I do also work with former domestic violence victims, because it's like, you leave this relationship, but then it's like you're still dealing with all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a constant struggle to not go back. You know what I'm saying? That shit is like, you know what I'm saying? You ever see I don't want you guys taking this shit the wrong way, but I just gotta like throw metaphors, and just so that you could kind of like expand your mind to see it in like a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, you got a fucking addict. It ends up like that. You have a fucking addict who, this dude or this woman or whoever, smoke crack. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, well, why are they smoking crack? Why are they doing all these drugs? Then they stop going to program. You know what I'm saying? They go on a program, get they, um, do what they need to do, 30 days, clean. Then they release back in society. Then they do the drugs again. And when you leave a fucking DV relationship, sometimes it's like that. Leave, right? Then you go through that pattern, or it's like a thought process. It's something that keeps you going back. And my goal is to help former DV survivors, DV victims, former DV victims from going back. You know what I'm saying? I could sit here and be like, damn, I went back over and over again. Like, I know the pattern of the thought. I know, you know what I'm saying? Because when you're alone, you're with your thoughts, you know what I'm saying? That's all you have when you by yourself. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when you leave, you gotta put at the forefront of your mind, like, why are you leaving? What's the end goal? How do you want your life to be? Because I want you to put it in your mind, like, yo, this is who this motherfucker is. Or this is who this man is. You know what I'm saying? You can say the PG version or the X-rated version, or however the language you want to do it. However you want to say it in your mind. But I'm going to say it like, this person is who he is. My abuser is who he is, and he is not going to change. As long as I stay with him, I'm going to deal with some form of abuse, whether it's physical, verbal, emotional, financial, sexual. Like, you gotta say that this person is not gonna change. You gotta say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta put that shit in your head. But yeah, I think. Oh, and looking at this, right? They also give you legal help too. They help you with the legal. They help you with the path to safety. They help for friends and family, whatever. Help for survivors. Help for you. They got help for you. Like, are you struggling after leaving an abusive relationship? Survivors may face ongoing emotional safety concerns, but there are methods for surviving and thriving after abuse. There's methods. Okay, they do have help for abusive. If you identify as abusive, or you're concerned that your pet behaviors may be unhealthy, but see, you don't gotta worry about this. Let that nigga worry about this. Let that dude, let that man worry about this. Oh my God, I know I said that word, the N word. Yeah, where I'm from, we use that as you hear it all in the rap lyrics and stuff like that. I grew up saying that. I'm sorry if I offend anybody. You feel what I'm saying? That's not how I said it, but I gotta put that out there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let that dude deal with this shit right here. Like you don't even have to worry about that. You don't have to be like, oh, show him this. Like, oh, okay, we could get you help. Don't focus on getting him help. Focus on helping yourself. Focus on helping yourself. Help yourself, help yourself, help yourself. Do what you need to do for yourself. Do what you need to do for yourself. Okay? And my lip gloss fell. They got deaf services, pets and DV, what to expect when you contact the hotline. And they have tech and social media safety. Oh, another thing I wanted to put out there too about this social media shit. Like, the fact of the matter is, I understand, like, people have friends in common and all that shit. Like, you got a Facebook page. Don't put on your Facebook page where you at. Don't put on a Facebook page, oh, I'm planning to leave or whatever. Like, don't put where your location at, where you are. I would even say, you know what I'm saying? Like, delete any, you know what I'm saying, friends y'all got in common, or you know what I'm saying, like stuff where he could kind of like use them, the people that he could use to get to you, because you have friends that have become his friend because of your relationship, but they loyal to you. If you have a friend that's loyal to you and you know they loyal to you and you could trust them. But even the people that you trust, if you go to a DV shelter, don't tell nobody where you at. You could call them and be like, oh, have, conversate and shit like that with them, saying like, talking to them. But I will always advise, like, if you using these resources as far as going into a domestic violence shelter, the key is not to tell nobody where you at. That's the key. You know what I'm saying? Like, but so maybe you want to like delete him as a friend or privatize your Facebook page. You know what I'm saying? Like, limit your post. Communicate with people who have the best interest for you, who ride for you, who's going to help you. You know what I'm saying? But not posting shit that's obvious, like, oh, if you on Crenshaw Avenue or some shit, or Crenshaw Street, you don't want to take a picture and you got the cross street of where you at, and you put that shit on Instagram or Facebook, and now he know where you at. Like, you don't want to do dumb shit like that. You don't want to do stuff where, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to do that. Like, I would say, delete him totally, change the information. You know what I'm saying? At one time, I went as far as privatizing some of my stuff when I got really serious about my safety and about my life and about my future and about what it is that I wanted to do. But yeah, we come to an end of this video. I hope it was useful and resourceful to you. Utilize all these resources that I provided to you. Like I said, I'm going to try my best to put some resources in the description box. But if I'm not able to, you can always just call that hotline number right here. They also have like chat with us. So you kind of like do that if you don't have a phone. Like, maybe when you have access to the computer where he ain't like, you know what I'm saying, over you and shit. And like I said, anything that you look online pertaining to safety planning, pertaining to domestic violence, like resources and help, you want to delete that. So you want to think like in terms that you don't want to leave no track or nothing. Yeah, and then if you don't want to use these resources and you have like, them family and friends who really going to help you, who's loyal, who's going to help you, and especially if you're going to leave and stay with one of them who's willing, you know what I'm saying, and who have space or whatever, and they want you to, they want to help you, get on your feet and shit, and you could stay with them for a little while, and then even though you stay with them, you still could kind of like call this number and see what, even if you're not going to utilize this number just for like shelter purposes, they do have other resources that they could possibly help you with. Sometimes they'll help you with gaining your own apartment and getting counselors, going to support groups in your area. But because of this coronavirus, I don't think people are doing like, the support groups as of yet. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, so if you have any questions, you could definitely email right here. Uh-oh. Okay. You could email right here, and the email also gonna be like in the description box. It is beautifulstartforyou@gmail.com. B as in boy, E as in egg, A as in apple, U as in unicorn, T as in Tom, I as in igloo, F as in full of shit, U as in understand, L as in Larry, S as in start, T as in Tom, A as in apple, R as in Ruth, T as in Tom, the number 4 and the letter U @gmail.com. You guys be safe, stay safe, and do what you need to do.